Hey everybody, what's up? I either just gave my nephew, who's not really my nephew, he's my aunt's boyfriend's grandson. I don't know what you would call that, but he calls me Unky Map, so I refer to him as nephew. So I may have either just fucked up his perception of Christmas or just fucking gave him the coolest Christmas story of all time. So here's what happened. After partaking of my morning, let's just say, Yuletide joy, I went upstairs and he was asking questions about Santa Claus. The one that I walked in on was like, how is Santa Claus going to come to our house when we don't have a chimney? And I was like, oh, since I was all like a flutter, I was like, hey, let me take this shit. I didn't say shit, but I was like, okay, buddy, here's what happens. Santa Claus is magic. He's like a superhero. And basically what I described to him was the Martian Manhunter. I was like, he can become intangible. He can shapeshift. He can grow giant. He can change into a dragon, or he can change into a mouse and fit in your hand. He can turn as hard as diamond, or as insubstantial as the air itself. But he's weak against fire. That's why you always have to remember to put it out, the fire out if you do have a chimney. That's why he comes through the chimney, because it's like a whole, thing with him. It's like fucking him conquering his fear. And he began asking more questions, like, what about the elves? I was like, well, the elves, they're the first ones of Greek mythology. They're the few remaining golden ones who yet still live. The perfect few humans who are immortal. So, they find the baby Santa Claus and they raise him as one of their own. And he has to go through some trials and tribulations. And he basically becomes, the first born human who becomes a perfect one. I'm describing Santa Claus as a mixture of Christ and the Martian Manhunter to this fucking child who's just like, his mouth is agape at this fucking story. So, he stops right there because my aunt recorded some stuff for him, and like, there's this fucking Christmas special. Like, fuck it. Like, I actually slept up and I actually started cursing watching it. It's like the Elf on the Shelf. First and fucking foremost, the elves don't have pointy fucking ears. I'm like, bull fucking shit. Everybody fucking knows elves have pointy fucking ears. But except for these fuckers, bullshit. My aunt was just like glaring fucking daggers at me. I stood up and was like, bullshit. Elves have pointy ears. So anyways, after that, I started telling him more, because he's like, Santa Claus is a superhero, does he have a villain? I was like, yes, the Krampus. If you don't know what a Krampus is, look it up, they're fucking awesome. They're like a Christmas demon. So anyways, I described to him the Krampus. I'm like, he's as good and pure as Santa Claus is, he is fucking not. He's a twisted fucking creature, covered in thick, coarse black hair, twisted fucking frame with horrible, rotting green flesh and a twisted half-human, half-goat-like face. And I was telling him, I was like, that's why you have to go to bed. This is where I might have fucked him over. I was telling him, this is why you have to go to bed early Christmas Eve, because the Krampus goes to everybody's house, and if a child lays eyes on the Krampus, then the Krampus will get him and drown him in ink. Look, don't fucking look at me that way. I know people in pauses and are just like, oh, Napalm. That's fucking mythology right there. The Krampus, that's what the fucking Krampus does. He drowns fucking kids in ink. He's fucked up. So anyways, I was like any good superhero, I began like flushing out, Klaus's supporting characters. So like Rudolph I made into like, Ace the Bat Hound or Crypto. So like he shoots laser beams. out of his fucking nose and shit. So the Krampus killed Rudolph's father. So Santa Claus in vengeance ripped the Krampus's leg off. So he has like one of his legs is a reindeer's leg. So basically, I made the Krampus Terror Incorporated from Marvel Comics. If you don't know who that is, basically he's got think Wolverine, but his regeneration doesn't stop decaying. You know, his body still fucking decays, but, you know, he lives, so he has to replace it with fresh body parts. So that's basically what I made the Krampus in. So, because he's got a reindeer leg, he's got magical powers and shit. So, like, I can see my nephew was fucking worried at this point, but I was like, don't fucking worry. It's like, Santa Claus will fucking come, and, you know, we will fight him off. That's what happens every Christmas around the world. Like, people unite and they fight with Santa Claus. And, like, Santa Claus isn't alone. Like I said, I was like, he's got Rudolph the Wonder Deer, you know. He's got Mrs. Claus, who I just basically fucking described as fucking Wonder Woman. I was like, he's got the Legion of International Santa Clauses, which I'm like, those are the people you see in the malls and in the parades. They're his eyes and ears around the world. They're all trained in deadly fucking martial arts. You know, if they sense a Krampus nearby, they'll fucking. I'd hate to be a Krampus. So I was like, they got them, and I was like, just to make sure though, I hired some Venezuelan mercenaries to come here December 25th to protect us. So don't worry. They'll, you know, I looked him dead in the eye, and I was like, look, that Krampus is dead. When he steps foot and hoof here, he's dead. Like, you got Santa Claus, you got Rudolph, Venezuelan mercenaries, the International League of Santa Clauses, Mrs. Claus, myself, a barbarian wizard. I actually tell him that. I got him convinced that I'm a barbarian wizard. Like, that's what I do. So, like, he's dead. So, like, yeah, that's how my nephew thinks Christmas goes down. That Santa Claus fights a never-dying, rotting demon, and, you know, Santa Claus has a legion of fucking trained, merciless killers at his beck and call. Don't fucking judge me. Look, that's a cool fucking Christmas. Tell me you would not fucking want that shit.